A frustrated student asks, "What is the value of an education, and how do I budget my time to get one?" The taxpayers in your community know how valuable education can be. This is why they took it upon themselves to tax themselves so that you can go to school at no cost to you. You are not going to school for free. Someone has already paid for it, so you are strongly advised to get all of the education that you can while others are picking up the tab. Later in life, your education will come at great expense to you, both in time and money. As you mature, you will also have more demanding distractions. The things that are getting in your way now while you are young are nothing when compared to what you will experience later in life. So, get your education now. If you want educated people to listen to your ideas, to pay attention to your thoughts, you need to speak and write in an educated manner. This cute text speak is sort of okay with your friends, but it's a bad habit that will creep into your writing, so avoid it. By the time that you graduate from high school, the taxpayers will have invested well over $100,000 in you and your education. It is hopeful that their investment in you will pay great dividends and that you will have a better life too. Each week, you'll have about 100 hours to invest in yourself by studying, working, and entertaining yourself, all of which are important. Successful people budget their resources of time, which is your most precious commodity. You and no one else can buy more time. Budget your time and stick to your budget. The more that you do this, the better you will become at budgeting your time. It's okay to waste a little time. It's necessary for a healthy mind to have a little bit of downtime. A wasted day is not necessarily a day wasted, but if you have too many of these, you might want to reevaluate your goals because your goals are not motivating you into action. So how does one budget one's time? You start with looking at the task that you need to accomplish and the time frame that's allowed. You evaluate if the task is important or not important. Discard all tasks that are not important. Every moment that you spend on an unimportant task is a moment that you don't have to spend on tasks that are important. Next, you look at the important tasks and you evaluate which ones are urgent and which ones are not urgent. The goal here is to never have tasks that are both urgent and important. This is what we call crisis mode. The more that you take care of your business in the important but not urgent mode, the better your life will be. An example would be that your house is on fire and you're in it. It is both urgent and important that you get out and then call for help. If, however, you had mitigated the known hazard that started the fire when it was important but not urgent, the fire would not have happened in the first place. It is not always possible to prevent an important event from becoming urgent, so you should be prepared for things to pop up that will demand your time. But the more time that you spend working on things that are important but not urgent, the less time you'll have to deal with a crisis of your own making. So let's break down the budgeting of a task. Research has proven that people tend to finish what they start, and starting a major task is daunting, so people tend to put it off. If the first thing that you do is to make a budget, then you have started, and it's easier to finish the task. Plan and organize, then execute the plan. List the objective, that is, define what the finished project should look like. List the steps that you need to accomplish in order to start and finish the task. Then put down a reasonable time frame to accomplish each part of the task. The more you estimate the time that it will take to start and finish a task, the better you will get at estimating. This will also help you avoid taking 5 hours to do a half-hour task. Taking 10 times longer to complete a task does not make it 10 times better, but now you have less time to work on the other important but not urgent tasks. Remember, you can't buy or even be gifted more time. Let's look at a real-world example. Bake and decorate a cake. Make a plan and time budget. That'll take you 5 minutes. Get the ingredients. That'll take you about 30 minutes. Turn on the oven to preheat it after you have checked that there's nothing in the oven. That'll take you a minute. I know from experience to check the oven first. Mix the ingredients. That'll take you about 5 minutes. Bake the cake and clean up the mess while the cake is in the oven. That'll take about 20 minutes. Let the cake cool before frosting it. That'll take about 20 minutes. Frost the cake. That'll take about 5 minutes. Clean up the rest of the mess. That'll take you about 5 minutes. This means that if things are done in the right order, you can start and finish the defined project in about 90 minutes. Because you have the order in which things should be done, you will not forget to preheat the oven until you are ready to put the cake in and you realize your mistake. Also, you can accomplish something else while the cake is cooling. It is exactly like this with your assignments too. Make a list that defines the finished product, the steps that it takes to reach the end, and the amount of time that it will take each part of the project. If part of the project is to read a book that will take you 8 hours, break it up. Don't read it all at once, but do physical activities after each section of the book. Read, take a shower, read, take out the trash, read, do laundry, read, go for a walk, read, prepare a meal. And finally, make your deadline much earlier than the actual deadline. Make room for emergencies that will consume your time. If the homework assignment is due in a week, make your deadline be in 5 days and you'll have a much less stress-filled life. To better inculcate this information, discuss it with your study group. These points came from a book. If you would like a copy of the book, write to me and we can handle it from there.